La 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 la.
Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. My name is Aaron Savra and I'm the head of operations at Blue Lion Training Academy. Today we have Sophie Handford with us. She's a level 3 Business Administration Apprenticeship. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hi, Aaron. I'm really good, thank you. So as Aaron's just said, I'm studying my level 3 Business Administrator Apprenticeship with Laid Back. I'm 6 months, just over 6 months into my apprenticeship, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's fun, it's different, and I'm really excited to, see what comes in the next coming months.
Oh, it's great to hear. So obviously what we want to do today is want to find out a little bit more about yourself, kind of your journey in education,
Yeah.
and kind of really delve into detail about how you kind of started the apprenticeship, how you found out a little bit more. So talk to me a little bit more about the school you went to when you were younger.
So the school that I went to was Noel Baker. So at the time, it was transitioning from a secondary to a lead academy. So there was loads of changes within school that I found quite difficult, and it affected my education. But luckily, I felt like I still did okay. I got some good grades from my GCSEs, luckily, and yeah, it was good time. It was good memories to look back on, and yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Bro, so what did you do after school? What was kind of your next steps?
So once I'd left school, I suppose I really wanted to be quite like academic, just because that's the way that I would like looked on life. I wanted to achieve and go above and beyond. But due to COVID, I wasn't able to do the course that I wanted to do, which actually was engineering. Um, so instead, I kind of took a gap year, I suppose you can call it, and did hair because I really enjoyed doing art and being creative at school. That's something that my family always knew I was really good at. So I wanted to take that route instead to have a bit of fun. So I did my level two. I did my level two diploma in hair at the Derby College, which is at the Roundhouse. So once I completed that, I actually really, really enjoyed it. It was fun, it was creative. And actually, even though I was stuck at home, it was something for me that I enjoyed. So once I'd completed it, I got a distinction. I then went on to my level three, and that was even more creative. It was more complex, which I enjoyed even more because it was just having that deeper understanding and that further knowledge and like almost skills that I gained throughout the course of the time that I was on the course. And then again, I got a distinction in my level three, which is equivalent to A levels. So at this point, I'd kind of stretched my path on the creativity. I thought I was going to just do it as a bit of fun, but actually now I want to possibly take it as a career. So I decided to do that and go into a part-time role.
So where was this part-time role? How did you obtain that role, and kind of what was your journey to kind of taking those skills and those kind of that knowledge and skills you learn on the course, and how did you apply that into the workplace?
So because I did a course, it is always different to do an apprenticeship. In hairdressing and that industry, especially when you're new to the industry, they always say do an apprenticeship because you earn and you learn, you gain valuable skills. And for that, because it's a hands-on job, it was like you should have done that. However, because I did the course, there were some areas that I lacked, which was confidence, probably communication skills, and also interpersonal skills as well. So for me, once I'd gained the education and the knowledge, I wanted to try and apply that to a real life setting and gain a living from that. So I went on to my part time role, and I had to learn in that role how to apply communication skills, how to improve them, how to deal with people, how to be polite and etiquette, and make sure that you're giving them their customer satisfaction. Which along that journey, I definitely gained those skills and all of those uh, improvements, I suppose.
So talk to me a little bit about the job then. What was the favourite part of your job at the hair salon that you worked at?
So I loved all the parts of my job. However, colour was my favourite. The reason why I loved colouring so much was because it was something that I could put my own personal signature on. I could make it my own canvas sort of thing. I could do what I wanted with that. And because it was so almost free, that's what I loved. And as you can see, these are just some photos that I actually did do in my second role, which was a full-time role in a salon. And these are all of my colours. So this one was actually my first vibrant, funky colour, which represented my twist on what I wanted to create. And it was so fun doing it. And the lady was fantastic. And she left happy, even the business, with a 5-star review. And I never had anything below a 5-star review with my services I provided. So that for me was just a feeling that I couldn't shake.
That's good to hear. So, looking at me then, what can you do for me? Going back to your skills you learned in hairdressing, what stamp would you put on me?
I could twist your little mustache bits at the front if you're growing them a little bit longer, or perhaps shape it at the front for your beard. But that's what I'd probably do. I'd change your beard a little bit and have a funky style in there with maybe a twist or something.
What about colours? Could you dye my beard? What colour would you put it?
I would bleach your beard and I'd make it like vibrant yellow or vibrant pink or
I'm
purple.
not sure if that'd suit me, to be honest. But okay, so you've now finished at the salon.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your journey from the salon and where you went next.
So the transition was as smooth as probably as I possibly could have done it. I did leave my role quite unexpectedly because I was ready for a change, but I didn't know when that change was going to happen. I wanted to go back into my education and I wanted to look for more progression in my career. So what I started to do from leaving my hair role was look for apprenticeships on the government website. I had no idea what I was looking for. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I know I wanted to do something that was professional and in a management field. So I just kept looking and I had a few job interviews, and for me, having the job interview with Laidback, it just really stood out as a company. Their culture and the way that their ethos and the way they were aligned with my own. And I could see myself working alongside that company. So it just worked out really well for me in that way.
I mean, obviously, that's great to hear, and I'm really glad that you're enjoying it. So let's look at the level 3 Business Administration Apprenticeship.
Yeah.
What have you learned since you started? You've been on programme 6 months, did you say?
Yeah, slightly over 6 months, yeah.
So what have you learned? What have you learned that's helped you in your everyday life?
I think it's actually we've learned a lot of knowledge, skills, and behaviours, but for me, the most beneficial improvements that I've had are from the interpersonal and personal developments that we've had from start of module 0, which is going from what kind of person you are to how you learn and how you can use that to your advantage and use it as a positive. So for me, I'm an analytical slash people's kind of style of working. So I work better with people and I work better looking at data. So that I obviously use in my everyday to day role, and for me that works really well. So from the start of the apprenticeship, because they set those foundations in place, it makes it much easier along the journey to know what you're good at and how to work to that advantage.
You talked about you've got an analytical style. How did you come to that conclusion? What was the kind of method you used to get to that point?
So we draw a quadrant. So in the quadrant, it shows you on each side easygoing, formal, informal, and dominant. And each of those qualities, it breaks down and describes what it could be to fit in the quadrant. So for me, I was organised, I was works well with people, and too probably detailed and indecisive. So that's why I fitted in the analytical side of the quadrant, because those are my sort of characteristics to how I work. But also, as well as being analytical, I probably was like easygoing, so I work better with people. I'm very much like let's get the job done sort of thing. So I would say I'm probably slightly more analytical, but also easygoing and works well with other people around me.
So you talk about these skills you developed, and obviously on the screen you can see it says that you're thorough, you're organised, you're a good planner. Do you think any of those skills were developed on when you were kind of going through your hair career, or is it something you've kind of picked up on your apprenticeship?
It's definitely something that I've learned in both careers. It's something that I started to learn and understand in my hair career because it was it was sort of skills and behaviors that I had to do in the day-to-day role. So I had to take phone calls, speak to people on the phone, take bookings, make sure everything was dated, do stock checks, etc., etc. But then actually in my day-to-day role as a business administrator, I have to pick up the phone, I have to speak with people, have to be polite and etiquette, but I also have to analyze data and report back to obviously managers to make sure all of this is organized in a certain way and manner because of the way that we work in the organization. So it's definitely always improving, and it's something that we're always saying we always want to improve. So for me, it's only got better since working in the hair career, and yeah, we can always improve. So for me, I can always improve these certain skills.
Yeah. So obviously working with myself, we've obviously worked together for probably 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah.
Which one of those styles do you think I am?
Aaron is most definitely controlling. Yeah, you're so controlling. You have to make sure that you know what's happening, you know what's organized, and if not, you kind of like you don't like it. It's not in your comfort zone. So yeah, you're definitely controlling.
I definitely agree with that. So looking at your style, then obviously what analysing is it, you want to know that it's fact based. Would
Yes.
you agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely. You probably know from working with me that I always ask questions. I always want to know for certain before I make a decision, so that when it comes to outcomes, it can never have a negative outcome. So that's how I view things because I know that if we've checked it, if we've thought it through, if we've used the data to make the decision, it's fact based instead.
Okay. So let's think about your apprenticeship.
Yeah.
We want to talk now. I want to explore a little bit more detail around the impact it's had on your wider life. So we're looking at personal development. So yes, we're developing the knowledge, skills, behaviours to be successful and occupationally competent in your career.
Mm.
What skills have you developed or knowledge you've kind of picked up that's helping you in everyday life?
So, in the office, we talk a lot about continuous improvement, and one of those things is called 5S. So, in the office, we're always 5S in. We make sure everything's tidy, it has its place, and you know where to put it. We have a massive board where it tells you where things should be. And in my personal life, that's the biggest probably impact it's had on my room before. I didn't have the motivation to clean because I'm probably a young adult, and most young adults don't want to do that. They want to go out, have fun. Whereas instead, I've gone home and I've thought, actually, come on, let's go and do this. Give yourself some motivation, and I've gone and done it, and it's improved my personal life, but it's improved the people around me because I've had that attitude, and that's rubbed off onto them. So for me, 5S is just a massive improvement in my personal life and confidence too.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say the same thing. So obviously, I have an 11-year-old son whose room he didn't like cleaning it. He wanted to be on his iPad all the time, but actually implementing that has had a real impact on him because he makes sure everything's in the right place. He knows where to access everything,
Yeah.
and the amount of time you save is phenomenal, isn't it?
Oh yeah, saves so many arguments. Where's this? Where's that? You put this there. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you wanted to kind of talk about in terms of the impact your apprenticeship has had on you? Is there anything that you want to say to those people out there that are thinking about an apprenticeship? What advice would you give them?
To those who are thinking about doing apprenticeships, I would highly recommend them. They're fantastic. They give you the opportunity to work in a employed status while also earning and learning, which is fantastic. For me personally, being able to start in an entry level, which is a level 3 for me, and have the possibility of having the progression is really exciting, and it's something that I hopefully will go and do. And for anyone who is possibly thinking of trying to like work their way up or upskill themselves or possibly have a better quality of life later for their future, I think it's just a perfect start to go to. And there's loads of information. There's lots of information on the government website, and there's lots of information on Blue Line's website as well. So I think you just need to know where to look, and we definitely provide that information. And yeah, I think they're just fantastic.
So one of the traditions of obviously this personal development podcast is talking about one thing that you have changed since doing your apprenticeship. So what would that one thing be for you?
So for me, just as a young individual, I'm always on social media, and for me, Blue Line has given me the understanding and knowledge how to better protect myself online. So they've gave me welfare modules to learn about. They've gave me loads of information and tests on safeguarding, so that I have a better understanding about it. Because I don't think a lot of people understand how dangerous it can be online and how to protect themselves as well as others around you, because it isn't just about keeping yourself safe, it's about others as well. So for me, having that almost not like good relationship around safeguarding and making it a positive instead of a negative, it's just a great impact on myself and others around me.
On to the final part of the podcast, quick fire questions. So I'm
Okay.
going to ask you a couple of questions. I just want short, sharp answers. Some of them will be multiple choice, and some of them would be kind of you giving a short answer. So first question: university or apprenticeship?
Apprenticeship.
Next question: what is your learning style?
Kinesthetic.
Talk to me about kinesthetic. What does that mean?
So kinesthetic means you're very hands-on, which is really great for me because it means I get to get hands-on learning from industry experts like yourself, Aaron.
Oh, appreciate it. Next question is: do you prefer to be paid or do you prefer to pay for learning?
I'd prefer to be paid for learning. I mean, who wouldn't? I would.
I thought that'd be the answer. Okay, last one. What's your next steps? What's your kind of goal from once you complete this apprenticeship and you sit your endpoint assessment? What's next?
I want to go on to another apprenticeship. I love my apprenticeship so much. I was telling everyone around me the other night just how much I'm enjoying it, how much of a positive impact it's had on me and my education, obviously. So hopefully, I'd love to go on to possibly a level 4 project management, or even maybe another level 3 supervisor role. Who knows? I'm just excited to see the next steps.
Brilliant. And if you could give one last bit of advice for individuals watching that's going to help equip them or make a decision around what they do next with their educational career, what would it be?
I would say get experience, get any free experience you can get. And once you've had that and you enjoy it, go and look on the government website, go and have a look at what they offer and what experience you can get, because there is loads to look at. There is loads of information nowadays. There never was when I was at school, but there is now. So just take whatever you can get and just utilize it.
Obviously, thank you very much for your time. It's much appreciated, and hopefully we can work together in the future.
Yeah.
For more information on apprenticeships, call or email us today. Terms and conditions apply.